Another major global financial leader has just unveiled his enormous Bitcoin holdings. We first witnessed this kind of move with Michael Saylor, who set the blueprint for adopting a large-scale corporate Bitcoin strategy.
And I have said before, and I would repeat it again, if it's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million.
Following his lead, companies like Tesla, Meta, and Planet quickly jumped on board. Now, as Bitcoin consolidates near all-time highs, it's clear that Saylor's vision was spot on.
Well, there's a lot of strategies. You can be the normie and do a normal strategy, diversified portfolio. You can be a 10%er and you can put 10% of your assets into Bitcoin. You can be a BTC maxi and put 80% of your assets and put 80% of your earnings into Bitcoin. You could be a double maxi, and that's when you basically take an extra $250,000 loan against the house. And then the triple maxi is you finance the house for Bitcoin, you buy Bitcoin, you flip all your assets to Bitcoin, and then you move to a cheap tax jurisdiction where you actually can avoid some taxes and invest an extra 50 grand in Bitcoin, maybe a Singapore or UAE or something. Well, this is the result. The normie ends up with $8 million in 21 years. The 10%er will more than double that. The maxi ends up with 100 million. The double maxi 150, the triple maxi 214 million. You can see the power of leverage, and the choice is yours. And you can also see it takes 15.9 Bitcoin to be a triple maxi. 6.25 Bitcoin will make you a wealthy person.
Their Bitcoin ETF has become the most popular on the market, and the firm now has a long-term crypto strategy that stretches decades into the future.
It's been a great journey since August 10th of 2020. MicroStrategy's bought about $8.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 44% a year on average since then. The S&P's up 12%. And since we levered it, we're up 825%. The number one performing stock in the S&P is NVIDIA, up 821% as of Friday. So we beat every single company in the S&P index using a Bitcoin strategy.
We saw Larry Fink and BlackRock enter the scene. Once a skeptic, Fink has transformed BlackRock into one of the largest Bitcoin holders.
Clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time. Right now, I can tell you it worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this.
Today, the spotlight shifts to John Van Eck, CEO of Van Eck. He's just revealed his personal Bitcoin holdings, and the size of his stack is astonishing. Van Eck's financial management company is deeply...
As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes!
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. These are just stepping stones towards tokenization. I really do believe this is where we're going to be going.
Today, the spotlight shifts to John Van Eck, CEO of Van Eck. He's just revealed his personal Bitcoin holdings, and the size of his stack is astonishing. Van Eck's financial management company is deeply involved in Bitcoin research. They've crunched the numbers and understand where the future is headed.
Might not like this, but the way I look about Bitcoin is it's sort of like evolving and growing up, right? So maybe it's a teenager now. It's not fully formed because so many investor classes haven't really joined. The toughest allocation question I have, and I know a lot of individuals think about this as well, is why should I be selling Bitcoin? If I believe the super bull case, why am I constantly selling into this bull market? I mean, we just came out with research that talked about a price close to $3 million a coin in the scenario where it's adopted as a reserve asset globally. Now, that's very speculative, and that would be extreme adoption. But that's where professional investors like us in our day jobs say, oh, no, you've got to do mean variance optimization. You can't hold too much. And everyone I meet at Bitcoin conferences owns way more in their own portfolio. And I always say, wait a minute, I always want to tell people what I'm doing personally because they should know, right?
But what are you doing personally?
I'm in like way over 30%.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Well, their Bitcoin ETFs are also seeing record inflows, becoming some of the most successful in Wall Street's history. Matt Hugan, the CIO of Bitwise, gave me a clear outline of where Bitcoin ETFs are headed over the next few years. And it's obvious that demand will only increase as more Bitcoin is absorbed.
A year ago started pounding the table because eventually the Fed is going to start easing here. That's great for gold and that's for Bitcoin. What I said is Bitcoin is growing up and will be eventually half the total market cap of gold. So that's about 350,000. So quite a ways to go from here. The super bulls, if central banks adopt it and it's part of the monetary system, then in the millions, but I don't like to talk about that too much.
What, more than 2 million? More than 3?
Yeah, like 2.9, we've got some model, which is, you have to look at the assumptions.
Right. Well, yeah, there are always big ifs there. Where are you as an ETF guy with all kinds of different ETFs, everything from fixed income to, who knows, staples, consumer cyclicals, et cetera.
Yeah.
Where do you put your personal money right now?
I like longer term trends because I feel like, okay, it'll be a bumpy ride, but I like to have conviction about something that's going to happen in 5 or 10 years. Mm-hmm. To me, there's no doubt that Bitcoin is becoming adopted the way gold is. I just think it's obvious. Now, I think you have to have your own diversified portfolio, and kind of having a huge overweight to Bitcoin is a personal decision, but I just see that rising.
Bitcoin adoption is accelerating worldwide. The Bitcoin of 2024 is a far cry from what it was in 2021. I will constantly keep you updated on these trends, delivering insights no one else does.
The thing that crypto should realize about ETFs is...
My question is, where are we on this ETF total adoption process? Because so earlier in this year, they were turned on for the first time. Finally, Wall Street could get in a regulated, known financial instrument. A couple of months ago, I believe we saw the first wirehouse, was it Morgan Stanley, approved solicited sales. So finally they could start reaching out to their clients, hey, buy Bitcoin through us. Are these ETFs fully adopted yet, or where are we in this process?
Yeah, not even close. I mean, you have it exactly right. From one perspective, these are the most successful ETF launches of all time, attracted $1 billion investment, already turned on at Morgan Stanley, which is faster than usually happens for ETFs. But it's still the case that most investors, believe it or not, most large institutional investors can't access these ETFs. It's a limited approval at Morgan Stanley. The other major wirehouses like UBS and Wells Fargo haven't even turned on these ETFs in a limited sense. Before I came to Bitwise 6.5 years ago, I was the CEO of ETF.com. So this is my neck of the woods. The thing that crypto should realize about ETFs is they are multi-year stories. If you look back at the gold ETF, which when it launched was the most successful ETF launch of all time, year 2 had more flows than year 1, year 3 more than year 2, year 4 more than year 3 for 8 straight years. I actually think the same thing is going to happen for Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, this was a record year, the most successful ETF launch of all time. Maybe we'll get $20+ billion of assets into these ETFs in year 1. That's amazing. I bet you year 2 is bigger, and I bet you year 3 is bigger. ETFs are a 5 to 10 year journey to maturity. So we're still really at the earliest stage.
Here's a big one. Another nation state has embraced Bitcoin. Bhutan has become the 4th largest country to hold Bitcoin and is rapidly expanding its mining operations. So this is unfolding on the other side of the world, but few are even aware of it.
Moving to Asia, Bhutan, the Himalayan kingdom known for prioritizing happiness over wealth, has quietly emerged as a major player in the cryptocurrency world. With $780 million worth of Bitcoin, which is nearly a third of its GDP, Bhutan has become the 4th largest government holder of Bitcoin. Now, what's fueling the country's ambitions to become a leader in green crypto mining? Here's our report with answers.
Nestled in the Himalayas, Bhutan, a tiny Buddhist kingdom with fewer than 900,000 people, has emerged as an unexpected yet powerful player in the world of cryptocurrency. Known for its serene landscapes, happiness-centric philosophy, and commitment to sustainability, Bhutan has quietly amassed a significant treasure. Over 13,000 Bitcoin, worth approximately $780 million. For a country with a GDP of just under $3 billion, this is a staggering sum, making Bhutan the 4th largest government holder of Bitcoin globally. The Himalayan kingdom is only behind the United States, China, and the United Kingdom as it overtook El Salvador, Ukraine, and Germany. Unlike the United States and China, which gained their cryptocurrency through seizures and legal battles, Bhutan took a more proactive approach by investing directly in Bitcoin mining. Bhutan's decision to mine Bitcoin rather than purchase it directly aligns with its broader strategy to diversify revenue streams. The country's Bitcoin mining activities have been fueled by its abundant hydropower resources, making Bhutan one of the most eco-friendly crypto miners in the world.
Check out the link below if you buy and spend coins. Check Nexo Exchange, $35 in Bitcoin, just for sign in, and I'll see you in the next one.